Jammu and Kashmir. Good Speaker.
Nitish Sayeed was given some quick glimpses of the time that he was with Mufti Sayeed in the past days. I go back a fairly long time when I got to know Mufti Sayeed, when he had left the Congress and joined the Jan Morcha at the time when the leader was Mr. VP Singh. Then he had assumed the responsibility of Union Home Minister. At that time, as it happened, his daughter had got kidnapped. And in consequence of that development, there was a considerable shake-up in the bureaucracy in Delhi. And as a part of the shake-up, for whatever reason, I happened also to be relocated. And in the process of relocation, I had to professionally and officially see a considerable deal of the Home Minister in what was then happening in Kashmir and the issues that were before the government at that time. Not long after that, he returned to the Congress in Mr. Narsimha Rao's time. At that time, I was working with Mr. Narsimha Rao, and I had occasion to see a little more of Mufti Sayeed. Then I retired from service, then I lost touch with him. But when Mr. Bajpai became the Prime Minister, he had asked me to get involved with the issues facing Kashmir. And I got to see a great deal of Mufti Sayeed. He had assumed the responsibility as the Chief Minister in partnership with the Congress, 2002. So almost for his entire tenure that he was CM in the state, I had innumerable meetings with him in some of the issues that we were discussing then, including the concept of self-rule, including what needed to be done within the state, including issues which related to the Srinagar-Delhi relationship, issues which related to the Delhi-Islamabad relationship, and so on. Then I got away from this work, and as it happened, I had to come back here and assume the responsibility which I now discharge. Then for the second time, in 2015, I had occasion to once again see a good deal of Mufti Sayeed when he assumed responsibility as Chief Minister for the second time. The second tenure, unfortunately, was not long. He was not keeping well. He didn't take enough notice of what he required to do medically. He kept on touring here and there, going into the valley in winter time, going down Srinagar, acquiring more than one infection when he was already not well, and he passed away. It is not easy to talk about recent times because we are not adequately distant from whatever has happened. With the passage of time, with greater distance between the events which have taken place in the state, perhaps there will be greater ratio and proportionality in judging governments, judging human beings, judging political leaders. But all I would say today, when we assemble here together, to remember the late Chief Minister. The thing which struck me most about his character was his wanting his government to function in such a manner that it rendered greatest help to the people of the state. And in this context, he remained concerned about the speed at which the projects were being implemented. Well, I used to be sitting with him in his office or at his home, gone there to meet him to discuss something. In the middle of my conversation with him, he would pick up the phone and ask the exchange to connect him with the DGP or the Chief Secretary or the Secretary of Social Welfare or the DC Baramulla and question them about what he had said to them a day or two before. Now, that kind of anxiety is not very common, if I may say it very politely. We don't seem to be excessively engaged or bothered about the problems which face our people.